Welcome back, guys. Today we've got another video of the 10 best sniping filters on FC25 right now to make you millions of coins. If you're new around here and you need some coins, make sure to drop a like down below to say thank you and of course subscribe. As usual, if you do want to buy some more, well, do you want the best team in FC25? Yeah, baby! Do you want to be able to buy players like this or this and not be stuck with a team like this? Oh! Then you need to head over to skycoach.gg, select the amount of coins or which weekend league boost you'd like, make sure to pop in Pro Recall at checkout and enjoy your new team. So we are going to focus mainly on a little bit more expensive filters today. Of course, if you do want the cheaper ones, check out the other episodes of the series. We will start at like a mid-range and then kind of go up as we go along. So we're going to start off with base icons. Now, these have absolutely dropped over the last few months, obviously far cheaper than what they used to be. Now, we've got a few options when it comes to England. First of all, if we have a look at strikers, you've got an absolute ridiculous amount. We've got right here, we've got Lineker, we've got Shearer as well. Now, obviously, the minimum they can go for is 67,000 coins, as you can see there. It might be slightly lower, but it's around that kind of 67k mark. Now, none of them are actually at their minimum. So we do obviously have Smith there as well. We've got Rooney, but obviously these guys are a little bit more expensive. Now, if we go over to our kind of 80k mark, this is where you're going to find the cheapest ones. So we've got a 75 for a right there. We've got Smith at 76, which I think Smith goes for a decent bit more. Right, we're going to pick that Smith up because I think she is a snipe. We're just going to get her sent up there and we'll just check, but I think that is straight away a pretty decent snipe. So we'll just pop Smith in, see what the cheapest is, because that's 76, I think. I think she goes for about 82 maybe. Let's have a look. So wrong Smith, but basically these English strikers, obviously you can get a decent amount out of them. There's a fair few of them who are worth a decent value. So let's just check her at 80k. So nothing there at 80. At 85, we've got a few here, 83, 81. So realistically, we've just picked her up there for 76. Now, EA tax on 80k is going to be 4,000 coins. So that would bring us down. Basically, we'd be at 500 coin loss. But it looks like she was going for about 83. So we're going to make a few thousand coins there, which is a very good start. Now, the next step for these English players, we're going to be looking at the defenders. First of all, if we have a look at centre-back, you've got the likes, of course, we're popping in icons, so that is one thing we're missing there. Of course, we've got the likes of Campbell, we've got the likes of Ferdinand, we've got the likes of Moore. Basically, the better ones are realistically Ferdinand and Campbell, but Moore, I mean, he's not bad, but he's not very good, you know, compared to the other two. Now, unfortunately, in terms of pricing, obviously, we're going to have to look at the lower ones, but even Moore has a decent price on him. 105,000 coins is looking like the cheapest ones available. Obviously, once again, the minimum is still the same. So we can pick these guys up as low as 67,000 coins. So it's just about with this one, doing a little bit of compare price and waiting until you pick one up. So it does take a little bit of time sometimes with the likes of Moore, but because he doesn't have his own special card outside of the one that he's got recently, which is obviously far more expensive, and he's got Anticipate, he is a fairly priced defender. If we have a look here, you can see there's one at 67,000 coins there. You've got a bid at 70k, so we could bid that one up. You've obviously got the options for bidding as well on these filters, but it is always going to be better for you to get them on a snipe. I think with icons, you've got a better chance of winning it with a snipe. Now, realistically, at 110, obviously EA tax is, off the top of my head, 5.5k. I think that's about right. So realistically, we probably want to go a little bit below 100 because we saw a few there at 105, 106, but this is still a decent price to be looking at it for. Then we can do the same nation and head over to the midfielders. Obviously, you've got the likes of Gerrard, you've got Lampard, we've got Charlton a little bit too expensive, and then we've got Scholes there as well. Now, obviously, we've got to work out if these are going to be sat there at a little bit below that 80 mark, which obviously would be a little bit too low if we want to do sniping. So it looks like bang on once again. Oh, is Scholes a snipe there? Is that Scholes card a snipe? We've got one at 78. We've got one at 82. So it's not quite a snipe, really. It's basically break even if we were to pick that one up. But what we can do is, if it's still there, we can use that to compare price. So we can sit on this one, compare price until we find either a Lampard, a Gerrard, or another Scholes coming up. I think Gerrard is a little bit more expensive off the top of my head than the other two, but realistically, it still is going to work. You've still got that opportunity to pick the card up, and that's all you want realistically. Now, bids on these are probably, you know, it's not the best way to do it, but it's still going to work because these cards, they're not very desirable. I'm currently sniping at 4 in the morning just before I go on holiday, so pretty crazy time to be sniping, which means I've got a better chance at winning things, better chance of finding good deals, But if you're doing this in prime time, there's going to be more coming up, and you've also got a higher opportunity on the sniping side. Right now, bidding is definitely the better option for me because there's less people that are going to be sat there waiting for them. Now, the next nation we can go to with icons is Italy. If we go for defenders, you've got a few there. We've got Cannavaro, we've got Baresi, we've got Nesta. So just in the centre backs, you've got a few. You've also then got Zambrotta as well. Now, Zambrotta obviously is the better of the bunch, and I've actually had his base card in my team for a very, very long time this year, and it was sad to see it go. I never managed to pack his sort of better card, which is obviously unfortunate because you kind of need that upgrade at some point. But we're having a look here, 95 for Nesta. I mean, unfortunately, someone's listed that one up for 11 hours. So for those of you who don't know, if you've got an 11 hours there, you basically can't snipe because your refresh on a compare price here is only going to go on that 59th minute one. So there should be a card that pops up in between. Now, what we can still do is do a regular snipe, pop it down to 90k. On this one, we'd be looking to sell near the 100 mark, looking at around a 5,000 coin profit. Obviously, you get 10 of them in an hour, you're looking at 50k, and that is the minimum. You know, it's actually a very, very decent minimum profit to be going for. Now, obviously, this is still sat at sort of the 90k mark. We haven't really pushed higher with these icons. We went through a few English filters, we're going through the Italian filters. There are more filters obviously on every single nation, so we can go on here. There isn't, I don't believe, any midfielders other than Pirlo in Italy, so we'd be looking at, I'm being stupid, you've got Gattuso, I was thinking cams and sentiments completely different, but we've got Gattuso there, we've got Zola, we've got Del Piero, we've got Baggio as well. So what I would say is the midfielders, although it is a filter that will work, cams is going to be a better option here because we've got a nicer price there. Obviously we can push that up a little bit. Baggio, Zola and Del Piero all sit around that 140k mark, so you can move up through the icons really, really easily. Obviously I know I'm going through this one a little bit fast, but obviously, as I say, I'm pretty much going to Amsterdam in like an hour, so I'm recording this just preemptively. Is that 89 a snipe? Oh no, not really, is it? So I think looking at these probably goes for about 95. Now 89 on that basis is a snipe, but there's too many below that for me to feel comfortable doing that snipe. I'd say you want to pick him up at 80 or 85, and realistically that's a good place to get him. Now, because he's an 87 rated base icon, he's still in packs, very, very packable right now. You know, if people are opening tradable packs, he's someone that they can very, very easily get. So it's not out of the realms of possibility that you can get some really big snipes on these. It's just we're at a time where it's going to be hard for me to find them. Obviously, this is a filter for those of you who are absolutely breaded, but we've just seen this. Obviously, midfielder and Netherlands. I mean, there really isn't that many of them. You're going to need a silly amount of coins for this one. We've got Cruyff and Hullet. You can see got a few 1.8s there for Hullet. If you could find a Hullet at 1.7, you'd be absolutely laughing. We did pack Hullet recently, so kind of just a flex there. And for Spain, we can head over to strikers. Obviously, you got Torres, you got Raul, and you've got Brucha. Now, to be honest, I really completely forgot Raul was part of that selection. Really haven't seen anything of him this year comparatively to previous years where you would have seen either an SBC or just much better cards from him. He's sat, I guess, at 150k, so we've got bids again there where we can definitely see some bids where I'd be confident you can get a steal. Obviously, there is that one card at 141. It's not enough of a steal for me to try it. Obviously, if you sell him at 150k, you're making like 2,000 or 3,000 coins there, but it really only takes the market to move slightly for you to lose all your profit. So I would be feeling more comfortable getting him at 135, maybe even lower. And there's a really, really nice selection, obviously, of other icons there as well, with Brucha, with Torres, where you can sit here, do compare price, and know if you don't get a Raul, there's obviously the other guys who can come up, and you can be quite confident that they probably will. I will say this is the most boring nation for icons these days. We've got Crespo, Zanetti, Riquelme, and I believe, yeah, we've got Veron as well. It's not a great selection. They obviously used to have Maradona. He is supposedly coming back. I think the last time he was in FIFA, I packed him. I remember being at one of my old jobs and packing him in the toilet on a toilet break. And that was absolutely gas a few years ago. But let's have a look. 75. It's not a bad one for compare price. It's definitely not a crazy filter because, you know, the Argentinians aren't that pricey this year, but there's so many filters that we can run through obviously on the icon side that are just so easy to do right now. I don't want you to think this is all just going to be icons. We are going to check out some other cards. Team of the years, I mean, the easy one is just going to be defenders. You've got Kachui, obviously a little bit more expensive. Grimaldo, 900k. We've got Renard Carvajal, also a little bit more expensive than expected, but you've got Grimaldo and Bronze, I believe, are both under 1 million coins. So if we go here at 800,000 coins, got Paredes there as well. And if we scroll along, you've got Bronze here. So you've got Bronze sitting at 800. We've got Paredes who can go for pretty much as low as 5. So you've got a nice little filter between those two. Obviously, Paredes is going to be the one who's coming up more. I think you should go kind of around that 560 mark. You can see here there is a few cards that I think you could snipe her at 400, 450 because so many people are getting rid of her. It's kind of a shame that I packed her because we didn't get a lot of cool team of the years. I got Salah, obviously, really good one. And I did get Grimaldo in a coins pack, which is pretty crazy. But getting Paredes out of the 82 20s, it was good, but it's like I got Berger, I got Martinez, I got Paredes. I just didn't get a good one. I couldn't catch a break. I did get my armor, that was good, but you know, it's just not the same. Now, speaking of my armor, if we go over to Japan midfielder, we want to go for special, and I think I don't know if there's others. You've obviously got Sawa, you've got my armor, you've got Endo, Sugita. So realistically, we kind of need a minimum there to make this one work. So we kind of want to go minimum, I suppose 100k is probably about right. We've got Sawa, 330. We've got Sawa's other card at a much higher price. We kind of want to be looking at my armor's team of the year card and then Sawa. So you're going to have to get rid of Sugita as well there. So basically this one, you'd have to do compare price at around the price of the team of the year card and the base icon. So kind of realistically around 300k. And then you'd compare price your way to see if you can get any steals in there. So you go to the end and you'd have to cap out the prices here. So for example, on this one, to get rid of these ones over a day, I would have to go to maybe 300 mark. So right now it wouldn't work, but it's something that you can do at other times. I know this one's been a little bit rushed, but you did get a load of filters there and they will all work for you. Make sure to drop a like down below, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.